Well, hello everyone. Welcome back to the next part of our airbrushing series. If this is your first time joining us, thank you very much. If you're returning, thank you again for coming back. If you've benefited from this channel in any way, consider liking and subscribing. If there's something you'd like to see me do, comment down below. I have a lot of hobbies. I have way more hobbies than any man needs. I have a lot of years of experience with various things I'm more than happy to share with you. But anyway, let's get to it. So what you see in front of you is some Dawn dishwashing liquid, some liquid mask, a foam brush, and a Lexan body. Now this body has been sitting on a shelf in my garage for quite a long time, just waiting to have an excuse to paint it. And I also do woodworking and carpentry, and I don't know if this comes off very well, but you can see how really dirty this body is. I didn't even bother cleaning it. There's actually a cobweb down in the body, see that? Anyway, I left this as it is just to demonstrate that bodies need to be cleaned. Even when the body comes straight out of a package, there is releasing agent sprayed on the molds, and that will impair the paint's ability to stick. So without proper paint work, your paint's going to start falling out of your body. So you definitely want to take the time to properly clean these. I'm just going to move these out of the way here so we have some more room to work. So just going to start by rinsing this out. I always like to give it a rinse, especially if the body is in the condition that this one's in, because of how nasty this is in the inside. All right, so now that that's rinsed out here, we're just going to take some Dawn dishwashing liquid and sprinkle it in. It doesn't take a lot. As you know, Dawn goes a long way if you've ever used this stuff before. So what we want to do here is we want to get our fingers in all the cracks and crevices. We really want to make sure that this is spotless clean on the inside, because if it's not, it will create some trouble for you with the paint sticking. Once you have a little bit of water in here, you don't need to keep running it. You just can kind of push things around here, and again, down in all the cracks and crevices, making sure that everything is very, very clean in here. Don't worry too much about kind of pushing on this and flaring it out. This stuff's really tough. It's really durable. It will take any of that you're having to do to it to make sure that it's nice and clean. All right, now we'll rinse. A solid tip for you as you are cleaning these out. If you're looking in the bottom of your water here and you're seeing this kind of sudsy kind of stuff, you do need to keep rinsing. Soap in the body is just as bad as a releasing agent. All right, so now that that's all cleaned out there, we're going to take a paper towel and just give a quick little dry. When we're using liquid mask, as I'm going to use in this body, it doesn't have to be really, really dry, because the liquid mask is water-based. So it won't damage it if you find that you are a little damp in the inside. You do need to take care and get the liquid that's up in your wing mounts up here, because they tend to pool up in there, and that will create some issues. So once we've done our drying here, we're just going to take a little bit of liquid mask. This stuff is like pudding in here, and you'll spread it around in the body here. You'll get it as thin as you can, because if you do that, it'll dry faster. So we'll take our foam brush and push it around. Now that liquid mask that I just put in there is way too much liquid mask. So we're actually going to need to spoon some of this back into the bottle here because we'll never get that much liquid mask to cure in a reasonable time period. So we'll take care of that real quick here. Now go ahead and make sure that you mask inside the wheel wells because if you make a mistake in your cutting of this, you can actually cut out some of that material, and it makes a great saver for you to be able to kind of repaste it. Hopefully we won't have the need for that when we actually get to paint this thing, but if we have it, we'll need it. Or if we need it, we'll have it, is what I meant to say. Now you'll notice there's a lot of heavy pink in here, and that's because we still have a little too much mask. So we're just going to push some of this down here in the corner and spoon it out like we did before. Make sure we get that back in the bottle. Now the one thing that I like to do once everything is kind of coated is I actually like to come in here and kind of dab at it. This will give it a uniform texture so that it makes it easier to cut. This step is not necessarily a required one, but it just makes it easier for me. So it's something I always like to relay as a helpful tip. And this does not have to be perfect because we're going to do probably 6 or 7 coats of this. The more detail that you pack into a body, the more coats of this masking that you'll need. And like I mentioned, the thinner you get it, the faster that it cures. So if you want to try and start painting a body soon after you start masking, you definitely want to get this in here pretty thin. If you have something like a large paint gun, you can thin this down and spray it through there as well. But if you're just starting out, you're probably not going to have that available to you. All right, so now that we have that kind of all matted in there, we're going to let this dry up. I'm going to go ahead and do all of these coats off camera because I'm sure you don't want to sit here and watch me do 6 and 7 coats of this. That would be kind of maddening. So I'm going to set this aside here, let it cure. But a tip before I move away here, I'm going to actually take this foam brush and I'm going to squeeze out some of this liquid mask that has been soaked into this foam brush. I've learned over the years that if you want this stuff to go further, you want to get every bit of it out of here you can. So I'm just going to show that to you real quick here. So if we just take our foam brush and we kind of squeeze some of this out, you see how much is coming out of there. So that's not an insignificant amount of liquid mask that you can save if you're willing to take the time and step to do this. Once you get all this liquid mask out of here that you want to save, you can rinse this out with water because, like I said, this is all water soluble. Normally I'm much cleaner at this than I am right now, but I'm trying to hurry for the sake of the demonstration here. All right, so now that that's all cleaned out of there, we'll just turn our water on and we'll give this a good rinse out. And then we can let this dry out for our next coat. All right, well, I think we'll end the video here. We'll pick up in the next episode. If you have learned anything in this video, please hit the thumbs up for me. If you want to see more of our videos, be sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any of the notifications. And I look forward to seeing you in the next one.